Okay, it is December and it is in Wisconsin. It is cold. I am recovering from COVID, but I got a replacement centerboard, so I'm going to get the boat ready. We're going to take it to the boat yard tomorrow and hopefully get that put back in with little to no problems, I'm hoping. So a little bit of backstory on that. I was sailing in Burt Lake, which is in northern Michigan, and it was like literally the last day of the planned sailing for me for the season. I was just sailing on a broad reach and then decided to go upwind, and I let the centerboard down using the pennant, and all of a sudden it let go and it pulled out of my hand and pulled through, went to the bottom of the lake, never to be seen again. So what I think happened is this is the replacement. And so here at the top, you can see this is where there's a 3/16 stainless pin that goes through. Hopefully you can see that. And so the old style would have a little tang, and that would catch a safety pin. But I think on the ones on the egg designs, what they did was they changed this from being round to being square along the front, so that as it drops, the front edge blocks into the centerboard trunk and it doesn't go any further down. However, you can see that, like, with how close that hole is, I think it was solid wood, and I think it just popped out from having too much weight on it. So really a design flaw, and I wasn't able to find anybody that had a replacement. So what I did was I went to the boat yard, had them pull it off with a crane, and I used some of this. This is polywall. It's like a, I don't know, 1/8 inch thick, like plastic construction. It was cheap, and I made this template. I've got some video. I'll show that. So basically, I just spent a bunch of time making sure the template was correct. And there's a guy, through some forums, I found a guy that had taken over the company's responsibility for making foils for, I think they had made some of the Montgomery foils. I'll put a link in the description to the guy that made it. So what I had him do was, and I had some photos, but essentially I had him put some plates, steel plates here, and then this is reinforced around this area as well. So hopefully that same problem won't, it shouldn't pull apart, because this is giant. It's basically plywood sandwiched between two pieces of stainless. And then the center is filled with lead, and then it was covered and faired and epoxied and faired. So it's decently heavy. I'd say about 40, not quite 40 pounds, but there is by the end of this week, there's supposed to be a storm, so maybe another 6 inches of snow. So I'm trying to get it to the boat yard so that they can get it in the queue before that, and then I'll have to figure out how to get the boat back into my yard when they're done. So good times. All right, here at the boatyard, sounds like they'll be able to get to it in like a week or so. So all good. I got a message that the boat is done, so currently driving to go get it. Okay, so got the boat parked. I'm just gonna show you what I can. There, you can see this is where the pivot pin was, and it looks like they did a pretty good job of sanding, fairing, and painting that on both sides. Looks like that. So I'm pretty happy with that. It looks like a much more professional job than I've seen in the past on this boat.